So now we are going to go to door number 2, where we are going to share with you a little charter celebration. And I'd like to introduce to you past District Governor Terri Clark, who will get this ball rolling.
Thank you very much, President Maggie, and thank you, President Holger, for being with us. One of the things I love most about this club, and it's a long list, which I will not share all of it right now, is that we celebrate our birthday every single year. Most clubs just do every 5 years or something, a significant one, but I really like doing this every year. And we have 5 speakers for you, and I'm going to introduce a charter member, Bob Johnson, to lead us off.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Hey, you're looking at a picture that was taken out at Baywood Golf and Country Club in 1992. There are 30 people in that photograph. That was our initial charter night celebration. But to back up a little bit, it would probably have been 1991 when the Rotary Club of Arcata was charged or offered the district to spin off the morning club. It was the obvious thing to do, I think. Jim Hamby, who was the manager of the Humboldt State Foundation, emerged from that club and was selected to be our founding president. I'm not sure how long he had been in Rotary at that point, but he took on this challenge and had a whole new vision for what he wanted this new club to look like. The kind of club that he wanted to form. He took a small handful of members from the Noon Club and then went out into the community, invited a lucky, diverse group of us to come along on this great new adventure. We all gathered on Friday mornings at the Golden Harvest Cafe, wondering what we had gotten ourselves into. We learned all about the programs and the foundation and all aspects of this organization that we had joined. We also sold shrimp gumbo on the plaza during the North Country Fair. We got our Taste of the Holidays fundraiser off the ground. We went up and eradicated non-native species from the community forests. And then we also set traditions, like Terri mentioned, for our charter night celebration that carries forward to today. One thing I'd like to point out is our club was formed and chartered in this month of 1992. We came together and we appointed directors of all 4 avenues of service that was typical Rotary, but we also added a 5th avenue of service because that was part of the vision that Jim had for our club, and that was youth service. And that was in 1992. And I like to point out that it was in 2010 that Rotary International added youth service as an official avenue of service following our lead. So when I see and think about the growth of our club over the years, when I see Ian and Vanessa coming on the lead and Dustin rising to even higher leadership positions, I can't help but think about our first president, Jim Hamby, and our second president, Harry Johnson, who incidentally called me early on the morning of my first meeting as president in July of 1995 from Belgium to wish me luck. And I think about their vision and how they structured the club and how they supported and how they educated so early on. Making sure that the interests of our community, local and international, young and old, were top of mind and were paramount. Being a member of this club has meant a lot to me. I'm so proud of what we become. And I know that Jim Hamby and Harry Johnson would be proud also. So that was kind of the beginning formation 29 years ago.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
I became a Rotarian the same year as this club was chartered, but by a twist of fate, I joined a different club. Arcata Sunrise met across the street from where I worked then, and I made up there often. Because of that, I was lucky to learn about Rotary from two very different clubs that also had some similarities. Southwest Eureka was older, and there were very few women in it at that time. Arcata Sunrise was brand new. Many of the members were younger, and lots of them were women. The similarity was that both believed in the second part of our name, international. Southwest Eureka founded a project fair in Guadalajara, Mexico, called Festival of Brotherhood. For over a decade, it was well attended and funded tens of thousands of dollars worth of projects in the Jalisco part of Mexico. Arcata Sunrise got involved in Rotary Youth Exchange from the start and held internationally themed dinners to raise money for projects in Mexico and other countries. As I continued to attend both meetings at both clubs, I learned more and more about the depth and breadth of what Rotary could do in our communities and the world. 10 years after I joined Rotary, I served as district governor. Craig Newman, a charter member of this club, was my district conference co-chair. 2 members of Southwest Eureka served as my district secretary and district treasurer. We were one great big happy family. And the clubs that we were in didn't really matter because this district worked together to further Rotary. At the district conference in 2003, I told the attendees that lots of people have 2 clubs, one they're in and one of their heart. When I named Arcata Sunrise as Medium Club of the Year that year, I was honoring the club of my heart. 3 years later, I was wise enough, lucky enough to get sponsored by Janice Newman and Wendy Nelson to come and join this club so I could put those 2 clubs into one. I love this club and I love the people in it. I miss eating bacon and drinking coffee with all of you in the mornings on Friday. And I'm so proud that we're going to be the home club of District Governor Dustin Littlefield starting in July. And I'm happy now to turn the meeting over to a kind of a newish member, Amanda Nelson.
Thanks, Terri. You can all hear me. Terri asked me to speak today just as someone who's only joined. I've been in the club for almost half of my club has been in COVID, so not for very long. But Rotary has been a part of my heart for my entire life. I grew up in a Rotary Club, very traditional Rotary Club. My dad, who is now in his 60s, is still the youngest member in the club, as he was when I was 7. So that tells you a lot about that experience. But even though it was it wasn't a club that I saw myself as a girl, but becoming a young woman in, with a lot of older men, I was still, the community was there, the family Rotary events, the fundraising. I always had a youth exchange student in my house, so that was very near and dear to my heart. That's why it ultimately led me to go out on exchange. So I did a year-long exchange in high school to Australia, one of the best experiences of my life, and it really solidified the fact to me that Rotary was a very special thing, but it wasn't at that time something that was in the near future of my life because I wasn't established in my career. That was an end goal, not a beginning goal, and it wasn't somewhere that I saw myself. That is until I met Scott Heller, who sponsored me, and this club, and I went to a lot of fundraisers at this club before I joined them, and you can tell it's a really special club, and it's very, very forward thinking, very different, and very exciting. For me, it was something that I started to think that this would be pretty awesome to be a part of, but when Scott asked if I wanted to join, it was still a surprise. It was still very much a surprise because I was recent in my career place and wasn't established. It's hard to see like, oh, I'm not that, I'm not the pick, we need the banker. That's not me yet. And so that was really exciting. But now that I'm a part of it, I'm really excited to see where we're going to go, what I can do. I've got so many more years to be a part of it. My dad asks me, he's like, how does your club get the Rotary Exchange to Rotary member pipeline? You're going to have to change, Dad. You're going to have to change. And so I don't know if he's listening to me yet, but I'm going to bring him to visit us when COVID's all over. So that's really been my Rotary experience, and I'm so excited for more because I've only got 2 years. And now I'm going to pass the baton over to Maggie. Maybe.
Ready. Thank you, Amanda. So this is my story a little bit. I've been working in nonprofits and I've always been aware of Rotary and their good works, but I never joined. I think my thinking was, you fundraise all day at work and you work with so many local clubs who support your organization. Find something else to do with your free time. In 2011, I decided to take a break from the nonprofit world and join the Peace Corps. A few months before my departure, Arcata Sunrise asked me to speak about the services offered by the agency where I worked. Walking into that room at an exceedingly early 7 a.m., I felt at home. People were friendly and I recognized several members. Before my presentation, Cam Appleton, who I have known for many years, asked me if I'd ever considered joining Rotary and would I like to join Arcata Sunrise. I was flattered to be asked by someone I respected as much as I did Cam. I told him yes, I would like that, but I'm leaving for the Peace Corps in a couple months. So I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but Cam reached out to tell me that the club wanted to make me an honorary member. A group who wanted me even when I couldn't be there, or maybe because I couldn't be there. But seriously, it was an honor I was determined to live up to. I didn't learn until much later how unusual this offer was. I was lucky to live near one of the only 5 Rotary clubs in Botswana and quickly became their secretary. When it came time to renew our dues, our treasurer told me he was having a heck of a time finding me in the system. Oh, duh. I was an honorary member and I had never paid dues. After my service, I returned, transferred my membership, and became active in this club. I moved to Arcata a year before becoming president, so I didn't have that long early commute on Friday mornings. Well, I needn't have worried about that, but living in Arcata increases my connection to this community and many of our members. Although my first club was the Rotary Club of Lobatse, the club that has my heart is Arcata Sunrise. I came into this club through the back door, and I'm grateful for the confidence expressed in that offer. But you had me at hello. So now I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa Griffin. Vanessa?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vanessa Griffin, and I am the owner-operator of The Griffin, a cocktail bar in downtown Arcata. I've been a member of Arcata Sunrise since 2017, and I couldn't be more grateful to be a part of this Rotary Club. I'm delighted because in this moment, I represent the future of Rotary. I understand that I stand on the shoulders of giants, as the reason I chose Arcata Sunrise was the content of their collective character. Since joining, I've had the privilege of participating in continuing conversations with club leadership regarding the very topics outlined in the President's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Statement. As the Vocational Chair, I've had the honor of working with Crystal Perez to secure a district grant funding paid internships for young people who, through no fault of their own, experience barriers to seeking gainful employment. We're working to provide them with resume writing guidance, appropriate clothing for interviews, help with securing proper identification. The list goes on. I am proud to work with the club that actively seeks projects that best serve the underrepresented members of our community. It's through such projects we can show our community that this is Rotary. It's through such projects we can attract a more diverse membership, one that is proud to say, I am the future of Rotary. The end.
Thank you, Vanessa. So that was just a little bit of a sharing with all of you about some of the members in our club and why we are here, why we came, and why we continue to be in Arcata Sunrise.